Have you ever scrolled for hours, watching, learning, saving videos, telling yourself, all I do is because of my business, because I want to grow my business, because I want to scale it. That's the reason you're doing it. But at the end of the day, nothing of the stuff you're learning, watching gets implemented. Maybe you save it to a tab in Instagram or YouTube, but you don't implement the actual information there. And I've done that a lot. I've been there. And let me tell you something that completely changed it for me. I used to binge all of these YouTube videos. I used to see the podcast and Instagram Reels, TikToks and everything. And telling myself I was learning, I was doing it, but I was just, at the end of the day, consuming a lot of content and not creating. And that, I think, is one of the reasons that most entrepreneurs, at least online entrepreneurs or people who have a service, something to offer, or even physical products, can't reach their goals because they're so obsessed with learning, consuming, and not creating. And when I fell into this, you feel so uninspired, you feel that you're not productive, and you just feel stuck, and it's a very frustrating feeling. And the truth is, the attention to grow these days in this social media age and this internet age and AI and everything, that attention is a currency in today's economy. And when you look at the industry leaders in your industry, in my industries, in a lot of businesses around there, almost the people on top are almost always like have some sort of attention, have a personal brand, have a founder or a brand that gets a lot of attention. When you, for example, look at one of the most famous one in my niche, that's Gary Vaynerchuk, his company, Vaynerchuk, does around, I think it's 300 to maybe 500 millions a year in revenue. It's a social media agency. And you see so many social media agencies or agencies that does a lot of things, of course, that has great services, but they never reach that amount of revenue or profit or their goals because they don't have the attention in it. And is his service so much better than most people? I know he's really skilled and probably has a great service, but a lot of people probably has equal to his service, or at least at some point, a service that could get a lot more attention. So what does he have? He has like this attention towards his business, attention towards his services and the solutions he has for his specific client avatar or the people you're trying to sell to. And you can see it in so many different businesses these days. It's not just service-based businesses. If you, for example, look at physical products, you have Hailey Bieber just exited her skincare brand Rhode for $1 billion. And that's totally because she has the attention. The product is not 10 times better than another skincare products. No, it's pretty, I guess it's probably similar to a lot of other skincare products, but she has attention. And when you have attention, you also have distribution to get your products out there and to scale really fast. And you win a lot better than a lot of other people. So I'm just not just throwing samples at you and really good examples, but this is currently like the truth for small businesses, for bigger businesses, for all different markets. And in 2017, I started my first Instagram page. Nothing fancy, it was a theme page, but I committed to posting every single day. And some days I made 3 posts, some days I made 12 posts, but I always made 1 post of content every day for 3 years in a row. And most of it didn't blow up, but over time it built momentum. It built an audience. I went to 215,000 people on that page, and it built opportunity, it built business. So let me just say it works on a lot of different niches, on a lot of different smaller businesses. You don't need to be Gary Vee or Hailey Bieber, who has a lot of attention for being famous. But what you do need to do is to change your perspective from consuming to start creating content. And it's a huge difference if you do that. So this week, one simple thing you can do is to look at your screen time. look at your apps, look how much time you are consuming on these apps every week, and you can match that with creating. So let's say you consume 2 hours per day on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube in total, then you need to spend 2 hours that day on creating. And that's a really good way to get started because you're accountable to yourself. It's a good way if you want, you can reduce your screen time, you can start creating more. That's a really good way to start matching it. So it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be something that's as good as, for example, Gary Vee's content, but it needs to be something and you need to start doing it. Because you have no idea where you could be like in 6 months if you start creating now. And you probably know this, you probably know that if you had started creating, you would be further ahead in your business than you are today. Even if you have a great business, content, attention, everything excels the businesses usually a lot. And you see that all over the place. There's so much social proof of that method working. So just try to stop consuming and ask yourself, are you really learning or just wasting your time? And it's a lot more fun to consume than create because it's harder. Either way, just imagine what you could do with your business or a business you're trying to start if you had the attention behind it, the content behind it, and how many people you could reach if you're doing that. So I would say, ask yourself what's stopping you right now to start creating and not consuming. Really, like, what is stopping you? Probably nothing. So what I would do is just like close this app, open your notes, shoot a video, write a post, start creating today. Because if you're just delaying it, it's so hard to start. So start today. And because wherever in the world where attention is, it usually builds a lot of empires and it really scales businesses. So I would really hope you start switching from consuming to start creating and building the brand your business deserves.